Hello and welcome back to another 3v3 fastest map possible on StarCraft Brood Wars Remastered. Alright, so today we got another game. I went ahead and checked where this 3v3 game was, and it was from 2018, also in September, which was the same one that I posted in my last video. So you see here, I'm not in this one, and it's all protoss except for one lone Terran. So let's see what that one lone Terran can do. So we'll go ahead and speed things up and go ahead and do the intros. Sorry, I got a little bit of a tickle in my throat, so bear with me. In the top left right corner is Slap Yourself, the red protoss on his team. Down in the bottom right corner is Brayan, and then also on their team over here is the brown protoss, Black Sorcy. And then on the other team, we've got Revolution K1, white protoss up here on the right top corner. Bottom left corner, we've got Gannicus. That is the bottom, the protoss in the bottom left corner, blue protoss. And then the lone Terran on the team, the orange Terran, GOP. Gannicus, I think, is a character in the series Spartacus. I think that's what he's referring to. I can't remember exactly who Gannicus is. I have an idea, but that's a really good show. If you've never seen it, the Spartacus show. That's a pretty good one. Also, like, I see a lot of other streamers give shout-outs. I just want to give a shout-out to Falcon Paladin. If he would ever actually see this for some strange reason. Really like the way he casts his 3v3 fastest maps. That's really informed a lot of decisions I made when I've been streaming. So shout out to him. If you really like watching these kind of anything like StarCraft related, like StarCraft Brood Wars, he does a lot of different modes of that. Plus he does StarCraft 2 replays. He does a really good job. Alright, so let's go ahead and do an APM check here. GOP up around 200 and Brayan, purple protoss down here, is up around 150. Everyone else hovering around that 50 mark. There's a 30, 50, 40, 50. So it looks like each team's got one guy that's really going to be moving, so we'll see how much that matters. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what everyone's doing here. We'll smooth things up just a little bit. Doesn't seem like anyone's rushing here. Alright, so the red protoss is getting out some units over here. Quite a few Marines here. Alright, so we'll slow this down. As I think they were like, oh, we can just rush this Terran and he'll die, but he was prepared. Alright, so then over here, blue protoss. No one doing anything too crazy. This guy's playing it real close to the vest. He's giving more of an economic start. Alright, here comes another attack on orange. I think they're just going to try to overwhelm them with zealots. I don't know, this is a lot of Marines, plus they have medics there too. Yeah, if you just micro them a little bit. A lot of medics though. Alright, now he's got Stim Pack. That should really help even things out. But there's still just so many zealots streaming in. He's sort of hanging in there. He's trying to take him out. Ooh, this is getting dicey. I think he's gonna do it. I mean, he's got more coming, plus the ones he has are getting healed. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so he holds it off, and now white's coming in on him, but he's got even a few cannons, just make it so hard to break through. That's a pretty good little build there where the cannons are defending, plus he's building out. I like that build. White's trying to keep some pressure on red, just so orange doesn't get overwhelmed. Blue's got some guys here too. Gannicus decided to come in and help out. This guy's macroing up. He's got his Citadel. Alright, so let's go look at the upgrades. Another thing I would tend to try to see, like, who's getting the upgrades first. So you see Brown's getting the upgraded Zealot movement. You see Orange is getting the upgraded attack range there. And you see White now is just getting the ground upgrades. So this is where upgrades need to start happening, I would say. Probably about 5 minutes into the game. At the very least. I mean, I think that's a pretty safe thing to say. Like, you need to start getting the upgrades going at that point. And I think that's when it starts to really tip, because when you start to have battles with people, then all of a sudden you're guys are going to have, you know, +3 more damage across the board. Like, especially for the Marines. Having the range, plus the stim packs. Alright, so he's coming in behind his friend Zealots. Ooh, so Brown, this is not looking good for Brown. There's a lot of Zealots here. There's some Marines. He doesn't have enough cannons here. He really should be building a ton of cannons behind here. Might even be too late. They're just streaming in so many units. Here comes Purple to try to help. Here comes Red to try to help. But it might be a little late. I mean, they're going to do all kinds of damage here. Alright, so we'll zoom out a little bit so we can see the siege. Early siege here. So, Orange really showing, you know, how much of a help having, like, diversity in your attack can be. So these Zealots having just a little bit of, like, stimmed Marine support are absolutely destroying this guy's base. Alright, so here comes the support. Alright, the Zealots are getting in on the Nexus. The Marines are trying to hold off the support that's coming in. Oh man, it's at 300, 200, 100, they got it. Oh man. I don't know if Brown's retreating or what they're doing. Well, that's a very, very good attack by that team. They just decided to come together, like sort of countering the pokes of Red, and really good job, just being decisive too. Alright, so Orange is deciding to, or Brown, I mean, sorry, is deciding to move down to the bottom middle. Purple's coming in with his Dragoons. So that might be Purple's plan to get just Dragoons going. We see Psystorm's getting upgraded by Gannicus. This guy's getting infantry weapons going. Yeah, so you're seeing a lot of upgrades happening now. So this is 7 minutes into the game. So again, if you did this earlier, you're going to see that advantage. No one has it yet. Ooh, here comes some Dark Templar into the mix. This guy's got some turrets. He's got tanks. Man, this guy's really playing well. I like the way he's doing things. Sort of committing to this Marine start. He's building a lot behind it. This guy's been really left alone. He's got a lot of tech. Excuse me. But he's not really doing too much with it. He looks like he might be trying to get some drops together. We're not seeing it yet, though. Brown's over here. Alright, so White's deciding we're going to go in and just finish Brown. He's got his Dark Templar. His Dragoons are just sort of there for no reason. Oh, he's trying to rebuild actually here, but yeah, it's honestly, I would say get a forge down, get some cannons here, and try to rebuild. Oh, so, alright, so there's no detector here, so these Dark Templar are really getting into them. And here are the Marines to help. This guy's looking awfully vulnerable. If I were this other team, I would go after him. Alright, Red, the other guy, he's sort of up here. I don't really know what he's doing. He's got a decent amount of gateways, but all he's building is Zealots. And the game is sort of evolving to a point where he's going to need to do more than that. Alright, so Orange now deciding to help with these Dark Templar. Attack the Dragoons. He hits some stim packs. Oh man, it's taking him out really easily. Oh man, Orange is just streaming in Marines. You love to see this if you're a Terran fan. And I am. Alright, so he's using stim pack. There's a lot of Dragoons coming in here to help. Yeah, that's a good pull out there. I don't know why he's sending his tanks. He's got 3 tanks here. Why not send those along to help? Alright, Red now sending out some Zealots. Yeah, Brown's starting to sort of rebuild over here while they just make sure to taking out Brown. Alright, Red is trying to come in on Orange. Maybe that's why he hasn't gotten in his tanks. Alright, so he's heading home. He should have enough to deal with this, no problem. And he does. He does. Yeah, I just don't... Yeah, this guy's... Now he's building cannons. I think he's just sort of playing scared. Slap yourself. Meanwhile, his partner down here is getting a lot of Dragoons. They have +1 attack. They have +1 attack. White, does he have +1 attack too? Yes, he does. So everyone's got +1 attack across the board, except for Blue. He's working on it though. He's also getting Dragoon range. He's got a decent little, I like the diversity here. He's got a little bit of 3 different units, you know. I'm not quite sure what this guy's deciding to do. Maybe he's deciding to just go to the Stargates because he can. Yeah, maybe go to carriers. Alright. They're letting Brown... Uh-oh. I was just about to say, they're letting Brown get back into it. He got greedy, did not build a forge. That's all I can say. And now this one Dark Templar is going to destroy this guy. Yeah, that's all it took. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, you gotta build detectors. So that guy was just about, look, he had 8 gateways coming up. He's like, I'm back in this game. Oh my gosh. Alright, back out of this. You didn't even need to kill this guy anymore. He's gone. Alright, so they're sort of moving into the middle now. Red is just sitting here waiting to die. Purple is at least getting himself a big army. Yeah, he's building more gateways. He's got 2 forges worth. Oh, he's got 3 forges worth of upgrades going. So this guy's really, I like what he's doing. Too bad his teammates kind of suck, I'm not gonna lie. Although, I can't really say anything. I'd probably be doing just exactly what Red's doing. Especially in 2018. 2018, John Redcorn was not a good player. Alright, so they're continuing with that. Let's go ahead and speed up to when something happens, because right now... Alright, here comes a drop. That could be something of interest. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this guy, though. I guess if he drops, like, right here... Oh, he's just going to... Alright, moves forward. Oh, he can't even get in there. He might need, like, a few... Ooh, he does get one off, but it's not close enough. Alright, so here comes Orange in on Red. Red's got nothing for this. All these Marines. Especially with +1 weapons. Stim pack, they're just going to crush this guy. He does sort of come after these tanks properly, but yeah, this is just going to be a little too much, I think. So slow down for a minute. Purple coming out. Alright, so here comes Purple. Now, White's doing a good job of holding him off for the moment. Red has been able to sort of hold off. Oh, Red's got some Dark Templar out, so he was able to hold off Orange. Alright, Purple looking pretty dangerous, I'm not gonna lie. But we do have Blue over here getting carriers. That could be the deciding factor. Alright, so here come these tanks. Oh, okay, perfect spot for him. So they're going to start blasting these Dragoons. Alright, so White's still trying to come in. He's got 2 on his attack. So does he. He just has so many Dragoons. He's just streaming them in. But these tanks are going to be really hard to stop. Blue's sending in a few Dark Templar. Some of his sending in... Oh, okay. Oh, no. The observers are taking out. Alright, so those tanks get a little bit cocky there. I don't know about that. This is being pretty cocky. There's a lot of tanks, but there's still a lot of Dragoons, and they're upgraded. I don't know. Okay, that's just too many tanks. Oh, look at those Marines coming in with the Dark Templar and the support and everything. Alright. Alright. Liking what I'm seeing. Alright, so this guy's got the carriers going. This guy looks like he's getting ready to take some Terran units for his Dark Archon. Alright, so things are getting a little bit interesting. Alright, so Red... Not really doing too... I'm surprised he's just not doing more. Like, why not just build like at least 1,000 zealots? You got all these gateways. What are you doing? Alright, so he is coming in on these tanks. There's really not too many Marines at all, so these zealots are doing a really good job of just taking these tanks out. Maybe build some Goliaths? Yeah, there you go. So I think he'll win this initially, but yeah, he isn't left with much. But neither is Red. Alright, so in the meantime, Orange is trying to sort of keep Purple from coming to help. Blue is just like sitting there just making carriers. Gannicus! Just having a good old time. Orange has really been the one who facilitated this game. The lone Terran making the big impact. Alright, so here come the rest of the... I mean, he's not... I don't even think he's building out of all of his gateways. Like, look at this. Where are you building? He's building out of one of his gateways. Alright, so now he's finally filling them up, but now it's too late. Yeah, this guy's completely gone to mech. What a transition to use his barracks that he was using all game to get vision, and then just completely went into mech. I mean, this guy played a really, really good Terran game. At 170 right now, we talk about APM all the time, and the two guys have the best APM. This guy is just pumping out Dragoons and keeping this game really going. And then here's Red. Yeah, so Red finally taps out, and now it's really just a matter of time before Purple says, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. So we'll speed this battle up till it ends. There are the tanks. A couple of EMP blasts, maybe. I mean, he's got a lot. I mean, look at how many he has. The Dragoons are just streaming in, and then here comes... I mean, dude, what's absolutely hilarious about this is that Blue, for all the work he did to put this giant fleet of carriers together, never used them for 1 second. It is a great lesson for us all to learn, is that sometimes it's not the best idea to just turtle up and make carriers. If people aren't attacking you, that means that you're in a position where where people are closer to your allies, so they're going to be attacking them. So while that's happening, make an army faster than a bunch of carriers, or add in to what your partner's doing, or assist your partner, or to take over the middle. Like, this guy didn't do anything to like really assist his team at all through the whole game. He helped with the siege early on of Brown when they got that, and he really just never did anything else of real consequence in the game. And he never got to, because this guy was the one doing all of the work. And White, too. White was the one sort of supporting him through the whole game, so it was kind of like a 2-on-2, to be quite honest, because he never did anything. So, gotta make sure that you're, looking at what's going on. You can't just sit around forever and just macro up. That's why you don't see any no-rush 20-minute games anymore, because it's just kind of ridiculous. Let's get moving in the game, let's make things happen. Alright, well, thank you for joining me on that one. That was a pretty good one. You can see how being different races and mixing things up can really be useful, because this guy Orange, GOP, man. More like MVP. But anyways, thank you for joining me on this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.